off here.
Alrighty, guys. We should be live here. So, welcome on in. We have a conditional threat for tornadoes today. And I'm going to pull this up. Okay, live stream should be going live any minute now. Hopefully, if I did everything correct. Maybe. Close YouTube and reopen it. However, As I as I was saying, we have a conditional threat for some tornadoes today. So if we go over to our Storm Prediction Center page here, we did get the new forecasting, new outlook system 2 days ago on the 3rd. So today we have a SIG 1, which is these.
That's about day. You could make the argument that they could become strong tornadic, but it may start at like 6 or 7 p.m. right around when this.
Which are these dashed lines here. That is a SIG 1 risk, which basically means there's a conditional threat to having a EF2 or higher. But for today, we have a 5 SIG and a 10 SIG risk, a very isolated 10 SIG here. If we go over to our outlook here, we go over to our tornado outlook here. This thing that our 10 SIG today includes Altus, Quanah, Childress, Hollis, Wellington, Magnum here, and I believe that is Oklahoma.
Going here, and the big question is the storm.
Yeah, that's Oklahoma here, which is including our 10 SIG. And then we also have some areas in a 2 SIG as well. So, our mesoscale discussion here that was issued about, let me see here, about 2 hours ago, I think. Yeah, it was issued at 2:47 or 3:47. Is currently 5:31 Eastern. So our mesoscale discussion here will be expiring in about 43 minutes here, and it says concerning severe potential watches likely. Probability of watch issuance 80%. The risk of supercells capable of all hazards will increase between 22 to 0 Z. Continue into the night. A watch will likely be needed for parts of the area within the next couple of hours. So we can expect a watch to be issued here within the next 2 hours or so. If it hasn't been issued already. Let me...
Watch out for that sign. That little green thing. There's CJ. Everybody wave to CJ.
Try and see here.
Just see a bunch of storm chasers sprouted around. It's never a good sign. I noticed a decent amount of cloud cover out there still, but it does seem like there are some parts in
Leaving that guy with full confidence here. Yeah, that's awesome.
Today. So that's the main thing that we're looking at. Are we going to see these storms fire at the right time? Later.
So, as going back to our discussion here after taking a quick scroll through Twitter, seeing if anything got issued. So, discussion. The latest visual satellite imagery depicts gradually deepening boundary layer cumulus developing over parts of the Texas South Plains, where steepening low-level lava straits are impinging on sheltered, increasing boundary layer moisture, upper 50s dew points.
Like this bird,
As diurnal heating and low-level warm advection continue in this corridor, adjacent inhibition at the base of the EML should erode and support convective initiating the words. I'm sorry, I'm getting over like a day sickness that I had yesterday. Not fun. But 22-0C time frame, while uncertain, additional storm development is also possible within zones of cell differential heating farther northeast in Texas Panhandle, where the low level advection is a bit stronger. So basically, what they're saying, weak forcing for ascent and lingering inhibition, discuss uncertainty on overall timing evolution of severe risk. Though current thinking is that a watch will likely be needed within the next couple hours. That was Weinman and Geyer issuing that scale discussion. So, jumping over to our radar once again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning just to the west of Washington, D.C. It previously had a tornado possible tag on it. That tag has since been removed. I'm guessing that the velocities. Yeah, the velocity on it has weakened. I guess I probably.
actually great. So like, but you get an upgrade to a 10% out here near Childress, Quanah, Hollis, Wellington, Magnum, and Altus. Again, that is going to be that area where we're, again, it's conditional, but the 10% is indicated.
I mean, earlier you have this area of height rotation with this storm. And since then, that rotation has weakened a lot, actually. However, if you're in Warrensville, Perry, Bauman, Selman, Baker, McCauley, Needmore, Arkansas, Perry, Rockland, St. Luke, and Lost City, you guys should still be taking shelter. Lowest level of the home, away from windows. I'm out of water. So currently, this is the only warning we have right now, I believe. Yep, this is currently our only severe storm we have at the moment. So I'm going to quickly go and grab some water, and I will be right back.
Don't get a space spirit buck storm warning. You still see some large to very large hail, which is why there's a higher probability for that over there near Woodward, in Childress, and Lubbock, Plainview, Amarillo, Perryton, Pratt, Eden are all in a 15% chance for that 2 inch hail and above, and then La Mesa is a 5% chance for that. Further up to the north, we have a 5% chance that really goes all the way from Del Rio up into Iowa today, and that is going to be for quarter-sized hail. Damaging winds, also a chance for some significant damaging winds, especially if our storm seeking return up to kind of blow out a cold pole later on today. That could impact areas like Weatherford, Woodward, Enid, Wichita, and Emporia out of line with 75-mile-per-hour winds and above. That's a 15% chance of that. And a 5% chance of that, just in case some storms to be starting maybe a little bit further to the south today, and that'll be over there near coast of Texas. That's the latest over here with our today's risk. We just went over the forecast for that. Now going into tomorrow, that's still there. storms in Iowa. Biggest chance for stronger storms is gonna be tomorrow for Iowa. We got storms that go all the way.
Alrighty, I'm back. I got my water, and we are ready to go. Don't believe we got it. New warnings? Nope.
Where
Huh.
that area we talked about for a couple of days.
Yeah, so this is our only warning. It's still got 20 minutes on it.
Well,
However, nothing is really expected out of it. We also have this scale discussion over here, but that only has a 20% chance of doing some of a warning being issued down here. However, we do have a mesoscale discussion. Or not a mesoscale discussion, geez. Blip. No, the storms just died.
where severe weather will be possible. So just, again, make sure you guys are weather aware. Nice sea level. It's not
KDFX, I believe that's
too close.
Uvalde or the Del Rio radar, that's down. I'm getting rain. And again, we need it. We have a storm north of Mayfield, Kentucky. Doesn't look like that's going to mean anything, but that's something to know.
About this area for a while. It's still conditional. Again, storms aren't guaranteed.
So we also have a 10 sig tomorrow for severe weather. Unfortunately, I'm not able to stream tomorrow unless some miracle happens and my brother's out of the house.
Myrtleville, Tulsa, Milwaukee, all in a 5% chance. The conditional strong tornado risk. Again, conditional if a storm spiral a little bit further to the west or the east. We can be talking about that strong tornado threat. And lower confidence as you move into Arkansas. And also over here in St. Louis, Springfield with a 2% chance, Chicago and Grand Rapids as well. A really low chance for strong tornadoes, but if everything lines up just right, you might see one, but it's very conditional risk for strong tornadoes. And the 2% for strong tornadoes shouldn't scare you. All right, that is still a very, very conditional risk. It is just kind of something to keep an eye on. It's something that not really be surprised about. If something like that does happen. What's the chances for tornadoes in general? To 10%. Broadest way to talk about it. You're not in the most bad area, but it's still concerning. Yeah, I mean, the 5% strong tornado risk again is still a pretty low chance. But, definitely be weather aware just in case, you are in an area that does get impacted by tornadoes. That's just kind of what it means. It's just kind of showing you what the different things, the probability and the intensity. The hatch is the intensity. It's the same one.
I should not have done that. That is already done. Why did I pick at that? I will be right back.
A little bit for a while, especially for folks that aren't really understanding of the minute changes that have happened with it. But the good news is that I understand it, and I will explain it to you just right. Is that this is conditional? It's still just as conditional as a 5% chance without strong tornadoes. Okay, you still get a 5% chance within a 25-mile radius of you of seeing a tornado. That's what these percentages mean. So again, 5% chance. It's not super high, but we're talking about tornadoes and also a conditional chance for strong tornadoes. So If you do live in any of these areas, I keep an eye out. But the areas that really do need to be paying attention, probably the most of everybody, is back over here in McAlester, Oklahoma, then Fort Smith and Fayetteville, there in Arkansas, and also Springfield is just barely need that 10% hatch tornado risk as well. So again, just make sure you are paying attention. Don't be overly scared over there in St. Louis or Springfield or Chicago. It's still a 2% chance for tornadoes, okay? And probably, in my opinion, probably a less percentage of a chance that we're actually going to see a strong tornado, but it's not technically impossible. That's why they have that hatched area over there. I'm sure I completely agree with this, but it is kind of odd to say 2% chance for a strong tornado when talking about a QLCS line. Because a QLCS line usually produces for weaker tornadoes, but we are going to have some pretty strong winds here out for the storm. So I guess what they're thinking is that, it's not a guarantee by any means. That's actually more likely not to happen than to happen. Why is it 2% chance? Well, just know that it is technically impossible to a strong tornado. Technically. Analyze the food. There, some over look at our hail risk. We also have the risk for some large to very large hail over here near Fayetteville, Springfield, Parsons, PNC. That's going to be 30% chance for stage hail and above. That's going to be enough to get cars, things, roof. Want to be ratings for that. So make sure your cars can check are indoors. We have 50% chance, 15% chance around that. Your water limit avoid.
Great, we're back again.
Down. And then around that, we have a 5% chance. It's no, but 5% chance for some for hail and above. Most likely chance is going to be for that 1 inch hail between 2 inch hail and 1 inch. Go back up here to Appleton. Way up there at north, that's Appleton, Wisconsin. Over there near Gaither and Traverse City. There in Woods, also.
So, as I was saying before I got distracted, we have a 10 sig in place for tomorrow. Here that includes Fort Smith, McAlester, Altoka, Hugo, Durant, Minna, Boonville, Clarksville, Harrison, Fayetteville, Bentonville, Castle, Monet, Forest. All those areas are in the day 2 enhanced, I believe it is. Yeah, it's a day 2 enhanced. So
Storms could fire and be big and bad, so we will continue.
We have
on that.
A large SIG area here.
I would say technically a little bit behind.
Then day 3, we have 2 slight risks. One down here in the south, and then one over here in the Ohio Valley.
Okay.
Now, if I didn't have to work on Saturday, I'd be chasing this.
Tell them to stop eating food, stop eating so friggin' hey, can you do the comments for the $10 per chat?
I would 100% be chasing this event here if I didn't have to work.
That'd be on Saturday.
So this is our HRRR. It usually does a decent job.
Little food update. One of our storm chasers gonna, they don't know
So,
but also what they're eating. As you see, not very nutritious meal.
Dang it.
And not even meant for fuel, which storm chasers need. These